right, guys, it's your girl, Ariza, a licensed clinical social worker, test prep guru, and the personal hype squad for you. With over a decade of experience, I've been helping future LCSWs and LMSWs pass their exam. I've guided dozens of test takers to crush their exams and achieve their dreams. And now, guess what? It's your turn. So this is your one-stop shop for your tools, strategies, and confidence, so I can help you level up and pass the exam like a boss. No stress, no overwhelm. Here, we're just about getting results. So let's dive in and make it happen. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen in a few, but I want to kind of break it down what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about classical conditioning. Yes, classical conditioning is basically learning by association. So you associate something, and that is how you learn. So I'm going to give you some examples. I know you've heard of the unconditioned stimulus, the unconditioned response, and all that good stuff. And you might be like, what
the hell is that?
That is my job. I'm going to break it down and simplify it in a way that you're truly going to understand, and you're going to walk away being able to teach everyone about classical conditioning. Someone knocks on your door and say,
hey, do you know what classical conditioning is?
You can break it down and teach it to them just like you're the person who invented it yourself. All right, so I'm going to jump in. As you can see right now, I'm sharing my screen. So I'm going to jump in and start and give you some examples. This video right here, we're about a minute in, and I'm going to try to make it 10 minutes or less. So bear with me. I'm going to go pretty quick, give you a little quiz at the end. Then if you have any questions, you know to hit it in the comment section. But before we even get started on the video, go ahead and like it. Go ahead and subscribe and like it, because I know you're going to like it anyway. So just like it. It's great. Just like the video. That's it. You only got to hear it. All right. Now that you've liked the video and that you've also decided to subscribe, I'm going to jump in. So classical conditioning. First and foremost, let's talk about the unconditioned stimulus. This is something that naturally makes you react. So your favorite food, I don't know. Mine is pizza. I know it's a million different types of food, but I love pizza. When I smell pizza, automatically my mouth begins to water. That is an unconditioned stimulus. No one said, pizza's here, mouth needs to water. It just naturally happens. So an example we're going to use here is dogs and food and all that kind of stuff, because you know that's what Pavlov was all about. P-A-V-L-O-V, Pavlov. Yes, I know you guys are familiar with him, and that is who you hear associated with classical conditioning. Getting back on track. The dog food itself naturally triggers a response without any learning. It automatically makes the dog salivate. This is an example of unconditioned stimulus. Absolutely. This is how you can connect it. So how you naturally react, like your mouth watering when you smell the food. So like my mouth naturally waters when I smell pizza. That is an unconditioned response. No one conditioned me to respond that way. I automatically do it. So there's an unconditioned response. So an example with the dogs naturally salivate whenever they see or smell food. This is automatic. You don't need to train the dog on, hey, it's food. You need to salivate. You need to get excited. You need to want it. No, they automatically know. So when it happens automatically and it's not forced, it's unconditioned. So that is an unconditioned response. Let's jump into number 3. Something that doesn't make you react at first, like hearing a bell. That is a neutral stimulus. The bell rings, it's just a neutral stimulus. It doesn't cause you to react either way. So the bell sound, initially nothing happens. The dog doesn't react. They just hear the bell. It just is what it is. However, the new trigger now is introducing food. So now that the bell becomes the special object, because whenever you ring it, they're associated with the food that you've also connected with it. That is a conditioned stimulus. We're conditioning the response by providing the bell and providing the food and connecting them together. So that is the conditioned stimulus. So the bell sounds after being repeatedly paired with the food, now triggers a response, and the dog learns to associate the bell with the food. I think you guys are getting this. So the last part of this is if you learn to react a certain way, that is a conditioned response. So you learn to react, your mouth waters whenever you hear the bell, even if you don't see the food, you've now conditioned that person's response. So a conditioned response would be the dog now salivates when hearing only the bell. That is a learned response. No food is present, but the dog still salivates. So just to break this down, guys, because I know it's a lot of concepts to understand, the way I would have you understand this in your mind and apply it. So if you want to write it on a sheet of paper, take some notes, or just kind of write a little cheat sheet. Unconditioned stimulus and unconditioned response means that it just happens naturally. It's nothing that conditioned it to do so. So the conditioned stimulus is the dog food itself. That is the stimulating the response. And then you have the unconditioned response. It responds now because of that stimulus. But again, is unconditioned in these sections here. The examples they provided, nothing triggered it. It was just the object, and that's why it's considered unconditioned, even though things did take place. Now, the neutral stimulus is just nothing. Just think about it as being neutral. It's just there. The bell ring, ding, 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 ding. That's it. You just hear the bell ring, and you haven't associated the bell with anything yet, so it's neutral. It hasn't been conditioned or unconditioned part of a stimulus. All right, so then if you move on down to the latter two, these are conditioned stimulus and conditioned responses. Basically, we've added something to the mix to condition it to respond and react and to provide a certain thing. So now the bell sounds after you pair it with the food, we've conditioned that stimulus. All of a sudden, the person's mouth is watering, or they get excited when they hear the bell because they're associating with food. We've conditioned that. And then the same thing happens with the response. The food's present, the dog still salivates. So guys, just remember, simply put, unconditioned, we ain't do nothing to fix it. Conditioned, we did something to make that change. So that's the easy way to do it. Neutral means nothing happened either way. So that is just an easy way to kind of understand this. And if you take a test or a question arises on the test, or you're taking a quiz and a question comes up, you'll know how to answer it and what actually is being asked there based on this. All right, let's test your knowledge a little bit. In Pavlov's famous experiment, what was the unconditioned stimulus? Remember, this is the stimulus. This is what was provided, the object or the thing that wasn't conditioned. It was just there. What was that? Damn, you guys are so smart. You knew it. It was the food. Absolutely, it was the food. Now, what was the neutral stimulus? The damn bell. Yes, you guys are getting this. So yes, the bell initially, remember, they didn't do anything. They just provided the bell, and it was a neutral response. They didn't associate the bell with anything else to condition it. I gave you the hint for the next one. So what's the conditioned response? Yes. So it's the bell, but we paired the bell with the food. So that is how we conditioned the stimulus right there. All right, true or false? Classical conditioning involves learning through association. Yes, that's the first sentence I said in the training. You guys are listening. I appreciate it. I love it. Before I go into the second question, make sure you like and subscribe. All right, here we go. The neutral stimulus becomes meaningful after repeated pairings. So the neutral stimulus becomes meaningful after repeated pairings. So like the bell rings, and then you pair it with the food. The bell rings, you pair it with the food. It's neutral with just the bell ringing, but once you pair it with the food, what happens? Does it have a different meaning? You darn right it does. Absolutely, you got it. A conditioned response can occur without the original unconditioned stimulus. So a conditioned response can occur, can happen, can take place without the original unconditioned stimulus. You know it can, because again, it's already been conditioned. That's the answer there. So hopefully this was hella helpful for you. I do want to give you a tip, because if you're taking the exam and you're wondering how am I going to apply this classical conditioning? What does this mean and what's going on and all that good stuff? Look for keywords like association, learning response, and stimulus. Association, learning response, and stimulus. You see that in the test question, automatically you know to start thinking classical conditioning. And then we already broke down the unconditioned versus conditioned versus neutral and stuff. So you guys are just ready to go ahead and ace the damn thing. So I'm excited that you guys sat through the video through the whole entire time. If you did, at the bottom, put in the comments section conditioning, classical, something. Let me know you finished the video and you got all the way to the end. I love you guys' comments. It keeps me going. It makes me excited. It lets me know that you guys are learning and really able to benefit from what I'm putting out. So again, I kept this video under 10 minutes, like I said, because I know a lot of you got ADHD. We've been ripping and running around helping save the world. And now we're trying to take this test, and I'm going to help save you so you can pass it. Be blessed to the next one. Have an amazing day.